Hello, nerds! You are about to jump into the TV streaming portion of the most recent episode of The Week in Nerddom, as brought to you by me, Mr. Generally Nerdy himself. If you want to find the entire episode, then that episode exists in the top link in the description, unless you're not on YouTube, in which case youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. Patreon.com/generallynerdy is the paywall, and generallynerdy.net, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just get to the news, shall we? TV streaming. Yeah. This is also going to be quick. This is also, I don't know, it might not be super quick because we have an issue to talk about. But first and foremost, we have a follow-up on Sliders, the sci-fi, I think it was on Fox originally, then got bought by Sci-Fi, the science fiction-based series that was out in the 90s. That was one of my favorite things to watch as a kid. That reboot that we keep talking about, that we're keeping tabs on, is back in the news because Tracey Torme, who is one of the producers that still owns the rights to the property, says that he has had multiple meetings with Universal about the product, about the IP rather, and that they, quote, where is it, don't seem uninterested, unquote. Which isn't exactly the biggest light at the end of the tunnel, but it is definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. So, I don't know, it was just a little bit of good news. We're gonna have to move into something slightly angering to my literary nerd sensibilities. We're talking next about Interview with the Vampire, the AMC series that is now Paramount Plus, I believe. We have another casting announcement for Interview with the Vampire, and that is Claudia. Claudia is now going to be played by an actress named Bailey Bass. Bailey Bass is an 18-year-old actress who is also going to be in the Avatar sequels, and that was the only thing of note in her biography. All right, so we have issues. We're not going to touch on the Queen of the Damned movie because there's way too much wrong with that movie. It's not even Queen of the Damned. It's actually the Vampire Lestat, but whatever. Lestat, sorry. We are, though, going to touch very briefly on the original Interview with the Vampire movie because there was a similar casting issue with that movie. Every time I watch that movie and I see who they cast as Armand, I lose a little bit of love for that movie. Just a little bit, but a little bit nonetheless. Because Armand was supposed to be a 16-year-old boy. When I see Antonio Banderas as Armand in that movie, I cringe. and I forget that that's why Antonio Banderas was in that movie, because he's supposed to be playing a 16-year-old? Like, that just does not equate in any way. So, we have a similar issue, but I think it's amplified in this scenario because, like I said, Bailey Bass is 18 years old. By the time they actually go into production on this series, Bailey Bass is likely to be almost 20, if not 20 by that point. So, because it could, I imagine, since... because she will be turning 19 probably throughout early portions of production, and then if it continues longer because, you know, things happen, or if they just get delayed a little bit more, then very likely by the time they finish production, she will be 20 years old. Now, the issue there, and again, I'm not talking about the shade of her skin because that is irrelevant in most ways. Granted, you know, England and things and the time period in which the early days of this story happens, the likelihood of her being anything other than white is slim and none, and Slim just left the building. But that's, again, irrelevant. There is a way to do that and have it make sense. Or they could do like they did in Bridgerton and really just not address it at all, except for in a half a line of dialogue, whatever. That's irrelevant. That is not what we're complaining about. The complaint here is that Claudia is a 6-year-old vampire. I could be getting the age wrong, but either way, specifically, she is a prepubescent girl who gets turned into a vampire because Louis has a giant heart and no brain in his head at the time that he does the thing. So after she gets turned, the character then goes crazy. She's insane. Yeah, just all of the horrible things, because she's a 6-year-old who gets blessed with immortal life. So she will never have the body of a woman. That's honestly one of the big things, one of the big motivating factors for a lot of the things that she does as she slowly goes insane, is because she will never be a woman. So if you're casting somebody who is almost 20 in this role, she's already a woman. There's no way around this. She's a woman. That completely negates at least half of the motivations for this character. You can't even necessarily argue that she's a child, which is the other half because the underdeveloped brain, as it becomes, preternatural and all this, it's a very strange casting decision. And I just can't get behind it. I don't know what else to say. This news was so fresh before we came up to do the filming that I couldn't even see many fan reactions. There was some on Facebook, but not a whole lot, not any on Twitter. So just a strange situation, and that's what we've got for TV streaming. And that was your TV streaming for this episode. There is, again, a much longer version of this where we do all of the sections all in one. You can find that by following the link in the description, or if you're not on YouTube, then go check out generallynerdy.net, youtube.com/generallynerdy, or patreon.com/generallynerdy. Or if you're on the social medias, you can find the Nerdy Ninja associated with the name Generally Nerdy, and that's where I'll be. So again, thank you very much, nerds. We're going to go now, but before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.